it's saying no title. Not sure why. Good evening, everybody. Oh my goodness, the icon, it's so small.
It
Look,
is.
It's so tiny. It's just a little tiny icon. Thank you for watching the 802 Scoop wrap-up here from the Inside Scoop Studios, North Main Street, Barrie, Vermont. Glenn is clearly putting on the glitz tonight, or Ritz.
He's putting on the Ritz.
He's putting on the Ritz. Putting on the Ritz.
I'm so happy to see Glenn. And do you know why Glenn is here with us?
Why is Glenn here with us?
Because it's 7 p.m.
Yes, you're right. You know who else is here with us?
Leah.
Yes. Don't say her name, though, because she gets excited when you say Leah.
She's fine.
She's fine?
Aren't you, baby?
You going to try to give her a pet?
Yeah, she's a good girl.
Oh, she is a good girl.
She's a very good girl.
For folks that
resting.
Yes, for folks that don't know, that's my dog, Leah, and we have decided to bring her down to the studio so that everybody can see just how beautiful she is.
And she is. She's
She
gorgeous.
is gorgeous. She's a
Yeah.
gorgeous German Shepherd. I love her so much. So Raylene, as I stated, everybody, the lovely Raylene is here. Raylene,
And I'm going to try to be extremely lovely.
are you?
No, probably not.
Probably not.
I said, keyword, I said try.
Try.
Yeah. I said I was going to try to be extremely lovely.
Nice.
Yeah, a lot has unfolded the last few days. Just saying.
It's true. There's lots of things that have happened. So this is not the first show that we've had where we celebrate my. Oh, by the way, did you see what I got?
Oh, you found your
I found my
802 Scoop hat.
I did.
Cool.
Are you happy?
I am very happy. No, it's not the first time that we
No, we
celebrated your win, but we can certainly talk about it again because I love to talk about that you won by a landslide.
I know.
That makes me very happy.
435 points. I was very excited.
Yeah, that makes me extremely happy.
But we're not gonna redig that stuff. So what do you got for me tonight?
Well, but I'm going to redig because I'm going to take people back a few months ago when I attended one of the DE&I meetings. And while in attendance to that meeting, I heard things that I didn't necessarily care to hear in regards to Christmas or even, say, holidays in the city, how the city celebrates, that we're a little too over the top when it comes to Christmas and even Easter. I think it was that evening that I heard that the city is adorned with purple curtains and white Easter lilies, which, by the way, I've never seen in my life in the city, and I've lived here 52 years. I've never seen such a thing, but whatever. And there were some thoughts that maybe that stuff needed to stop. And I was told that I overreacted. Some of the posts that I had shared actually were removed because at that time I didn't have control over what could get posted and couldn't post, but I do now. And people really thought that I took things out of context. Well, now let's fast forward to this last Tuesday night when that same person that is on the committee is on the city council now and suggested that we change the name of Christmas for Kids. And then a fellow council member that sits right next to her suggested that we maybe call it December Gifts for Kids. Doesn't that sound joyous? I mean, doesn't that make you feel like extreme joy?
I think more like Orwellian, but sure.
I mean,
there's been, and this is where I do the backtracking, right?
Well, of course you do, and that's just going to piss me off.
I know, it's just.
And you asked me to be good and not get like grumpy about this, but then you're going to backpedal when you, instead of just express your true thoughts and feelings because you feel like you can't because somehow you're going to get in trouble, which is what the majority of the population does. is that you can't speak out or you're going to somehow get in trouble. You're not going to get in trouble. It's okay to stand up and speak your mind. And that's what we haven't done for a really long time.
So what I will say is that I started doing the coin drop back in 2010. Tom it was something that the city council always did, and the money would be collected, and then the money would be used to purchase gifts for kids that are selected from the school system. The teachers submit names, parents can put their names in.
Okay, freeze right there for a second. We just lost signal. We'll resume shortly. There we go. So freeze right there for a second. Let's do that in steps because that's one of the parts I want to bring up. There is no application. Nobody fills out an application. No. Nobody says what their religion is. Nobody says it's not an application process. This is a process where staff members at the school see needs. They see them all the time. They're with the kids more than anybody else. And they are the ones that kind of like nominate these kids. And then the guardian is contacted. And from what I understand, as of now, that no one's ever refused the help. Even if someone were to say, we don't celebrate Christmas, but I could really use the help, they've never been denied that help. They still get it.
And it's not just the teachers that submit names, other
Staff.
folks. Yeah, and parents can obviously try to put their name in as well. Then Jason with other organizations weed out, not weed out, but make it so that there's no double dipping into
Right, if they're
services.
already getting from one of the others, like
Good evening, Joe.
Toys for Tots or one of the churches, or that way there's
Right.
enough for everyone. And no kid is left out.
Right, exactly. And good evening, Linda. So after that, and the parents can decide whether or not they want the presents wrapped or they just want the presents not wrapped.
Right.
And they can also decide whether or not they want a police officer to deliver it or not. I think most people appreciate Jason showing up in his garb
Yeah.
and anybody.
And Katie and Jen,
Yeah,
and
and
it's just a fun
It's
thing.
a real wonderful. It's a beautiful thing, and unfortunately, I don't know. I was just bringing it up as I'm not going to be here, and it's not going to be on next week's agenda. I guess it's going to be on the following week. But I wasn't going to be able to make it, and I just wanted to say, hey, this is a really good program, and it gives kids.
And that got sidelined really quick too.
It did.
It's a good thing too. And that's the part that makes me most angry, is because it is a good thing. It's a beautiful thing. It's brings a lot of joy to a lot of people, and not just the people receiving, but the people giving as well. It is the purpose and the meaning of it all, and to cast a crappy light over it like that is what angers me. Which to turn it into from something that is absolutely amazing to make it feel like it's something that's shitty is shitty.
Yeah.
And that's where I get the most aggravated. And the fact that, so what, it's Christmas for kids. Like how often are we going to just, if we're going to be inclusive, then why do we have to keep excluding me? Why do we have to exclude everything that I find joy in? That's not inclusive.
Okay, so I'm just going to come out as the person that was, according to the Vermont, whatever, Public Observer or something like that.
Yes,
as the very far right religious individual that believes in a young Earth. Oh well.
Yeah. Damn.
Okay, you pegged me
You
correct.
terrible
That's right.
person.
So as a born again Bible believing Christian, who certainly needs to work on my Christianity a little bit more, I don't, when I think of Christmas, I really don't think, I don't really think that much of the religious aspect of it.
Yeah.
And as a born again Christian, I know that one, Jesus was not born during Christmas. Shocker for everybody that doesn't know that if you go back and you look at like actual text and find out, I think it's sometime in like August or September.
Yeah.
The purpose of Christmas was originally, it was during the winter solstice, and the Catholic Church wanted to make a celebration so that the people don't go into the winter solstice parties and stuff like that. But over time, yeah, poor Leah. She's like, Michael, you're boring the heck
Right.
out of
She's
us.
like, okay, Dad, spit it out.
Spit it out. The historical jargon that I'm going to give out. But over time, the point that I was trying to make is that Christmas has relatively gone from a religious thing to it's a United States celebration of family, of getting together. It's not, it's like Thanksgiving. It's about spending time with one another. It's not, most people don't wake up on Christmas morning and read the birth of Christ story. And there's actually a term for it, and some reason I can't think of it off the top of my head, but they don't get up and they don't read that. Most people just don't do that. They get up, they have their coffee, and then they go to the Christmas tree and open gifts, right? It's like the Ralphie from Christmas Story,
Right.
that kind of thing. It's not.
Well,
it's
and
not-
it's never been that way for me. So I grew up totally different than you. I grew up in a house that we didn't go to church. Church wasn't a thing. God wasn't a thing. Prayer wasn't a thing. None of that. My grandfather was a super strong believer. He read every Bible that there is to read, and he knew every religion. That's how he was. He knew that he always said there was a higher power, though he never chose one. He just kind of was a believer in all of it. And that's how he grew up. And to this day, is somebody who has been through, and this is just proof, or this is just saying how I view Christmas because of this. So but to this day, because of like a lot of trauma and different things that I've gone through in my life and losses that I've gone through in my life, always in the back of my head is, how can this amazing thing exist when all of these horrible things happen? I question it all the time. But when it comes to Christmas, it's the joy, it's the lights, it's
Yeah,
the laughter of the kids, it's the excitement of it all. I love to decorate the Christmas tree, and I could actually put a tree up and put lights on it and leave it up all year, just because I love, it's just so calming, and there's just something about it that's like a big warm hug. And that's what it's always been for me.
Yeah.
It's the joy of it all.
Right.
There's never been any religious connection at all for me my entire life.
Hey, Kristen. And hey, Jen Lawrence. So, a couple things. One, a Christmas tree is absolutely not Christian
Right,
at
at all.
It's called a bale pole.
Uh-huh.
And yeah. So, I want to challenge you on something, because you actually said something that's inaccurate. And it's kind of funny. You don't know this about me. I never went to church as a kid. Ever.
Right, but some people have. So I'm not saying it about you in
I
general.
thought you
I'm
said
saying
that.
I didn't grow up
Right.
in that way.
Neither did I.
Either, like some people did.
Yeah.
You just didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I thought you said I didn't grow up like I did, and I didn't grow up in the church.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the point is that I went to the council meeting. I, talked about the awesome, Christmas for Kids program, and there was, concern about the name for Christmas for Kids. So
Right.
it was like, throwing up the wonderful war on Christmas.
I know. it's
Ay, ay, ay.
ridiculous. And Jason says now the biggest thing
Bring a smile.
this is to bring a smile to the families regardless of anything. And that's what it is. A lot of families go through a lot of really tough time. And if this one time of year we can like wrap them up in this big hug and support them, then we should. And it's amazing. It's amazing to stand there down on Main Street, even in the rain and the cold, and it's always raining and cold.
Well, it wasn't last year.
It wasn't
was
horrible
beautiful.
last year until the end, but it was cold still. It was chilly.
Yeah.
But none of it matters. None of it matters at all. It just is such an amazing experience, no matter what you're doing. It was an amazing experience to go down on the north end after the flood and lug buckets of mud up out of basements and to bring people food and water and hugs and support. I mean, that was amazing feeling. So, it's the same thing with a different name, and deal with it because it's not changing over my dead body. Like I would find a way. I would write every Tom, Dick, and Harry from here to, I don't know where, here to China to get donations to be able to do this before I laid down for those people.
Yeah.
Even if Jason had to stop, I'd find a way to do it.
Yeah.
Because we have the banner. It's in my basement,
It's
ready to rock and roll.
The Christmas for Kids banner is in your basement?
It is. I brought all that stuff to my house and
I thought
saved it
Jason
from the
had
floods. No.
Oh.
We
thought
bought the
Jason
new
took it.
banner. I believe it's at my house.
I thought Jason had the banner.
No, because it was wet and yucky. It needed to dry out at my house, so we hung it up.
Oh. Alrighty then. Well, there we go.
I'm the
So-
keeper of all things sacred, and
You're-
that is sacred.
you know,
It's
that
a brand
reminds
new
me.
banner.
I'm gonna be bringing down the little pop-up tent thing and keeping it down here. Is that okay?
Perfect.
Good, because I don't want it at my house. I got plenty of stuff
Yeah.
as it is.
We love it. But yeah,
Right, the
old
old
banner
one
got
got-
old banner got destroyed in the flood, and I have the new one at my house, and it was here, but I got it out of here. It was
I
with
didn't
all
remember-
of the rest of the stuff.
I
in it.
thought it's the one that Val did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was all wet and gross, and I took it home and wiped it all up and laid it out and let it dry, and now it's rolled up in the tube,
Well,
waiting for us.
and it says Christmas for Kids
And it
coin
says
and dollar
Christmas
drop, right?
for kids. It does. So anyways, super excited. It's coming up December, 7th is the coin drop?
Yes, if it
Or
goes
that's
through.
right. That's when it's supposed to be.
Correct.
But yeah,
Correct.
I know other locations that we could do it just in case. Just because I've already asked. Just
Well.
saying.
So, do you want to talk about the 11-year-old that walked less than a mile away from home and his mother was arrested?
Yeah, sure.
Did you hear about that?
No, I have not. So
Not
I'm
heard.
interested in knowing, where did this take place?
This took place down in Georgia, and it was I guess, 11-year-old kid that went for a little walkabout. I think it was less than a mile, and apparently somebody saw the kid walking, 11-year-old, and called the cops, and the cops came, and then like eventually DCF came. It was pretty intense, and she ended up getting arrested for allowing her 11-year-old to walk less than. Let me ask you: when you were 11 years old,
When I was 7,
I know I was thinking the same thing.
I lived on Berlin Street, went to Ward 5, and we used to walk back and forth to school. And we could walk down to the playground at Ward 5 to play dodgeball, kickball, swing on the swings.
Yes,
I know.
and mind you, this is in so.
And when I walked home from school, my mother wasn't home yet. We had to let ourselves in, then lock the door back up and do our chores before she got there, or else.
An 11-year-old intended to come along, wasn't around time to leave, so he figured he'd go to his grandmother's house, who lives on 16 acres with her kids and her father. I'm sorry, the mother lives on 16 acres, which is a pretty big parcel of land. And so this kid decided to walk to the downtown Mineral Bluff, wherever that is, a town of just 370 people. I think Groton has more people than that.
Probably.
Yeah. A woman saw him walking along the side of the road, called the cops. And yeah, so, DCF showed up, offered a safety plan, use GPS to track your kid. I'm thinking to myself, 11 years old. And I see that John Anderson is watching. So, and I know we...
Because you were latchkey kids together?
Yeah, we were latchkey. Well, I'm pretty sure he was a latchkey kid too. I remember spending a lot of time without my mom knowing where I was. My mom would have been arrested multiple times.
Yeah, mine too. Locked up and thrown away the key, probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although I will say that I rode my bike down to McDonald's once when I was probably about 13. I did get into a little bit of trouble for that. And when I was 7, I walked from the Lincoln School area all the way home up by North Berry School. And I got into a little bit of trouble with that too. But yeah, man.
Right.
That's insane.
But the popo didn't come.
No, the popo did not come.
No.
And I just, it stuns me that this happened.
But it doesn't mean, because look at the times have changed. I wouldn't want my kid out walking by themselves now.
But why?
Even at 15 or 16.
Why? Oh, okay.
I just
so
moved the studio out of the window to the back room because I don't want to be with my back up against the wall. And you want me to let my kid walk around? No.
So, good point.
Drugs,
But
panhandlers.
I think right now we're struggling with issues with criminal activity.
Big
that
time.
We don't want to demonize them though, Raylene.
I'm demonizing them. Sorry. No, there's nothing about it that
It's not funny. It's not funny.
It's not funny,
but
but when you start committing crimes, when you're doing drugs on Main Street, when you're urinating on Main Street in front of people, when you are walking up to people and intimidating them, refusing to get out of their face or out of their way when they tell you no, bullying them, threatening them, sexually harassing them, which has been happening up towards City Hall Park to volunteers at the church, and then just the vandalism alone. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I hope that
Valid point.
I hope that Phil Scott stands true and hard and against and keeps to his word about this whole thing, because I think that a lot of people will get back on the buses and go back to where they used to live because it's too damn cold here. And then we'll know who's left, and who's left standing are us. And we need to, then we can take care of them. Yeah. And some of them, that's going to mean they need substance use help and treatment. And damn it, we better find a way to do that, because right now we're really failing, and we're failing bad.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And if we fix that, I know you're sick of hearing me say it, but if we can fix the drug addiction problem, we fix a lot, because then there's no need to be homeless. They will become productive members of society. But right now they get free room, they get free cell phones, they get food, they get whatever it is that they need. Yeah. So, and then they're committing crimes to buy drugs, and they're selling drugs, and it's a vicious cycle. But they're being taken care of, and they're being taken care of in a very wrong way.
Yeah.
We need to do the right things. But we may not be able to, because on the heels of all of that, big news late this afternoon. I actually was told about it last night. And I wasn't sure. It's one of those things we don't know if you're going to put it out there yet or not. You don't want to always be first because that's not good. You want to make sure that the information is correct. And then I was sent a press release this afternoon, and soon after that, word came out from the hospital that they're making huge cuts, and they're actually going to close the psychiatric ward up here in Berlin. They are stopping all kinds of steep administration cuts, which fine, but clinical services reductions. And people are really worried and afraid what this is going to do to already a vulnerable population, but even me and you, who are waiting months for doctor's appointments and stuff as it is. As a result, this work, more Vermonters received the care as they needed in less time. It talks about all the different things, but it says, despite the progress, University of Vermont Medical Center, the state's only academic medical center hospital, was penalized by its regulators, the Green Mountain Care Board, for exceeding the amount of care it could provide by $80 million. So all of those cuts need to be made, and they're deep ones and they're serious ones. They're going to reduce the number of patients that stay overnight. So even if you need to, after something pretty serious, like my dad has had a couple of surgeries just in the last year, where a few years ago it definitely would have been at least an overnight and more than likely an overnight in the ICU. And it was same day. They just shipped him home with me. Like, no big deal. But they're going to eliminate surgical renal transplant at the University of Vermont and University of Vermont Health Network staffing and operations of kidney dialysis clinics.
Does it say why they're doing this?
Yeah, I just told you why.
Well, repeat
They're
it.
making deep cuts because they were penalized $80 million for not doing what they needed to do. They were penalized by the Green Mountain Care Board.
Why were they?
You're going to have to read the article. It's very long and extensive.
Sorry. Where's that?
Huh?
Where is it?
It's on the 802 Scoop. Imagine that. End of universe. So the dialysis, consolidate locally some family medicine and rehabilitation clinics that are part of the Central Vermont Medical Center. Close the inpatient psychiatric unit at the Central Vermont Medical Center. Cut more than $18 million in administrative cost, with the reduction in expenses, open positions, and employees. So cut all of that. Yeah, but the entire press release is on the page, and it tells all about it, and it tells all of the different cuts and what it's going to do. But this is serious. This is this is very scary. Yeah. It's going to be, and what we were just talking about, just the substance use disorder and mental health. We're in a mental health crisis, and you're going to close the psychiatric unit. And we already have a lack of a state hospital, really, because the one up here is so underutilized. It's not funny. Spent millions of dollars to make this big, beautiful, crazy building that isn't even full. But yeah, there is a petition as well, an online petition. That online petition is in the comment section of the press release, and then it's also listed individually on the page as well. But some very frightening things there.
Not good.
I think not good at all.
Ben and Jerry's is suing Unilever. Did you know that?
I hope they lose. I hope Ben and Jerry's loses. Just saying. I'm not a big fan or a supporter of Ben and Jerry's.
Not a big fan? Not a big
No,
fan? Yeah,
no.
I'm not a big fan, although I am a fan of their Chunky Monkey. And
Cumberland Farms actually has all of the what do you want to do? You want to
no, they don't have all
spoofs or
the,
whatever? The majority of them of Ben and Jerry's, and some of them are even better.
Yeah,
just so
they
you
have.
know.
So they have ones that are similar.
And some of them
But-
are even better than Ben and Jerry's.
Yeah, well,
And they're
maybe.
like $4 cheaper a pint.
That's true, but they are suing because Ben and Jerry's, the social mission board or whatever, wants to make comments about Gaza, and Unilever, I guess, has been like shutting them down, and yeah, so they're a little pissy about that.
Well,
No Ben and Jerry's
They're gonna
allowed
have to
in
get
Kristen
over it.
Tuzion's house.
they're going to have to get over it. There isn't any in mine either. And,
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
yeah, my dad, just one bad move by Ben and Jerry's, and it was all over. We're not. I think I told you put the.
Oh,
He had
yeah,
a
I
tub
know.
of it in the freezer, and he friggin' melted it right down the sink that very moment the word came out. It's
Uh-oh.
like, nope, I'm all done. You know, Shimada, baby.
She's all done. Oh, she can stay there. Gotta love the dog. You're blocking the view of your beautiful face.
She's fine. She's fine. She's pretty beautiful.
She is.
So, yeah,
That was such a nice
I was
comment.
gonna gonna say something like really mean about Ben and Jerry's, but I better stop it. While
It was
I'm
very
ahead.
nice of me to make that comment, dude. It was a very nice comment.
Yeah. What's the matter, baby?
Anyway, so yeah,
She's getting anxious.
she
Daddy.
is. She is. Well, she's been sitting there for about 15, 20 minutes.
Right.
So,
We gotta
you know,
get you a
it's-
ball for down here.
oh yeah, we could
Something.
do that.
We need to get you a
Could do that.
toy.
She would probably like that a lot.
So, but anyways,
You got something else?
super worrisome about that.
Yeah.
And I just want to make sure that everybody knows too, before I forget, because I don't want to forget this. Next Friday, and I know this is advance notice, but mark your calendars because it's out of the ordinary. Next Friday, not tomorrow, but next Friday, is Veggie Van Gogh. And it is early because of Thanksgiving. So people would normally expect it to be the week after, but it's not. It's next Friday. So mark your calendars now so that you don't forget it. And then I won't forget to tell you. Because I always worry that I'm going to forget to tell people that that it's coming. And it's so important that people have that access to that, especially right now with the holidays and stuff. So that is available to you. And then let's talk about some other really cool events.
Sure.
We have a bunch of craft fairs. 'Tis the season.
Yes, it is.
But this weekend, the kickoff of the holidays is at the Canadian Club. So that starts at 9 a.m. This Saturday at the Canadian Club. My friend Sharon will be there. Can't wait to see her. Oh, shit. You know what's happening right now?
What?
Roland and I were going to go.
Oh no! What was it?
Botox night at Vita Spa. Right here on Main Street. Like, we're both in desperate need. And then this Saturday is another Touch of Holiday gifts market, and that's happening at the Capitol Plaza in Montpelier. The bridge lighting is also happening in Montpelier this Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Do you know anything about that? The Langdon Street bridge lighting?
No.
I think they're doing it all with those. I think people made the handmade ones. I saw some of it the other night. little post about it. But let's see, the vendor day at Graham Central. Michael's going. He told me he's all out of gummies. The end of season shopping spree and giveaways at Wilkins. And then this is the one I wanted to find for you. You can get your pets with their photos with Santa
I
at
see that.
Agway
At
on
Agway.
Saturday. So Saturday you can take your pets down to Agway and they can get their pictures taken with Santa. Are you going to take Leah?
You know, she gets her picture taken with Santa all the time.
Oh God.
I'm the younger version of
For the
Santa
love of all things.
because I'm a terrible Christmas person.
Moving on. This Sunday, there's the breakfast buffet at the VFW Post 792 in Montpelier. This Saturday is the breakfast that happens once a month at the VFW Post 790 on Route 302 in Barrie. We know that this weekend, both Saturday and Sunday, Tasty Bites is doing a hunter's breakfast, and they will be opening at 4 a.m. both days. You got to be certifiable to open at 4 a.m. Just telling you right now. So much love and appreciation to Lisa and the crew for doing that. That's a pretty big deal that they're going to open up like that and make sure that the hunters can fill up their bellies before they go out into the woods. You don't want to be having your stomach making all kinds of grumbly noises and scaring the elusive buck away. I mean, come on. You don't want that happening.
The poor baby does, oh dear.
Oh gosh, are you one of those?
I'm one of those people that I like my meat packaged. Nicely packaged. I don't want to go out in the woods
Oh
and
my
shoot
gosh,
it.
I could so go.
I can't
Sometimes
do
it takes all my might.
So-
I'm just telling you
well,
all. It
so
takes all my might.
I know it does. So I'm actually working with Keith Cushman to possibly take care of some animals that need to be, because he has a farm, and they do, you know, all the farm stuff that they do.
Slaughter.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Michael can't say it.
So
How are you going to help?
So he's gonna teach me how to do bunnies, and like they're so fluffy.
What do you mean? Not slaughter them.
Yeah, you make them into like
Bunny stew?
bunny stew.
I can't. You'll never make it through.
I
You'll never.
know.
You'll have the whole freaking Jeep full of bunnies. Don't do it, Keith. Speaking of Keith Cushman, is he doing the No Shave November? How long's the beard getting? The
I don't know.
I wonder. We'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
This Sunday is the Antiques Market at the Canadian Club. So that's a really cool thing. If you've never been to that, you really should go check it out. It's kind of cool. They'll always have all kinds of stuff there. So lots of other events. The events are listed on the page. I'll did those this morning, and I'll do them again tomorrow morning, of course. And it's going to be a pretty nice next few days for the starting tomorrow for the weekend. So 46 and then in the low 50s and sun for the next 3 days. So if you have any more yard work to do, cleanup to do before
This is the time.
the snow falls, yeah, get it done this weekend. It'll be warm. Even get the Christmas lights up so that you don't have to deal with it out in the freezing cold and you're trying to put all those little plastic things up and your fingers are froze numb.
All those plastic things that represent those little white lights that represent
Christmas.
Christmas.
And then now let's speak about Christmas a little more because we're gearing up for Jeepmas. Jeepmas is coming and
Ooh,
it's
that's
right around the
right.
corner. And the founders of our local Jeepmas, Travis Payette and his wife Samantha, will be here with us in the studio on the 21st to talk all things Jeepmas. And I can't wait to have them. And we haven't even talked about decking the Jeep out yet. We don't even
Wait.
know what we're doing, have we? Or you have
No,
all the
we
lights
haven't.
from last
So wait a
year?
minute, hold it. So you're doing Jeep Miss, the studio interview on Jeep with Jeep Miss, and I'm not going to be here for it.
Well, it's not my fault.
I
It's the
I
21st.
I feel that this is not okay. This is next week.
Well, I
You
know.
know that I can't do
But
next week.
Well,
but
no,
yet-
you told me the other night that you can't do next week, but
Oh,
I had
am-
already scheduled
I
the
am-
interview.
I am very unhappy with
Well,
you
you're
at
gonna
this
have to
moment
tune in
time.
and watch it later. Lucky for you, everything stays on Facebook and YouTube for forever, and you
Well-
can just tune in.
You shouldn't even, you don't even own a Jeep.
I know, I'm riding with you.
You don't own a Jeep. I'm the one with the Jeep.
I know.
And you're like
I get super
interviewing.
excited about
You
it.
have no clue about what Jeeps
Listen,
are.
I have all kinds of girls I can ride with. If you don't want to take me in the Jeep, whatever, I'll just go with them.
It's
I'll
not that I
deck
don't
out
want
their
to take
Jeep.
you in the Jeep. It's that you don't. You're doing an interview with Jeep people, and you're
Don't
not
be
even
a
a Jeep
whine
person.
ass.
I give you know what you're.
You don't even know why people get ducked, so don't even tell me.
Don't give me that crap. I know the reason why we get ducked and we duck people. It's the fact is that you don't understand because it's a Jeep thing. Right, Jen? Jen Lawrence has a Jeep, right? Doesn't she have a Jeep?
No,
Oh, never mind.
no, she doesn't.
There's another Jen Lawrence that does have a Jeep now that I'm thinking about this.
Good Lord. But anyway, so we're going to talk all about Jeep Miss. We're going to get the word out there because the goal this year is 50 Jeeps. So it would be absolutely amazing. Last year, I can't remember, it was close to 30, I think, last year. But this year, the goal is 50. So we're hoping. And we meet at the mall at 7 o'clock. We go out over, Jason Fleury leads the pack with the cruiser, and they play Mariah Carey the entire way, right? They did last year over the loudspeaker.
Christmas
And that makes Michael super happy. But we go over the airport road and then out. I always forget the connecting road that goes back over to 63. Oh, I hate it when I do that. But anyways, we go over that little connecting road, down 63 into South Barry, then through South Barry, through Barry City, down the Barry Montpelier Road, down Main Street, down State Street to the State House lawn, where we will stop, gather for a picture, and we'll give Jason all the presents for Christmas for kids.
Wait a minute. Oh, where is it? It's nice.
Because all of us bring a present, an unwrapped present for Christmas for kids. Yes, Miller Road. So, yeah, super excited.
Nice.
I can't wait to go. With or
it's gonna
without
be a lot
you,
of fun.
Michael.
Well, so I just checked my schedule for next week, and I can be here Thursday night. Since I'm going to be here tonight on Thursday night, you have to deal with me and not Travis, because Travis isn't the Jeep owner; it's his wife.
Yes, I know.
And the two of us are going to be like simpatico, and you two are going to be like the third wheel.
I'm guessing not. I'm just going to tell you. Yeah. Patrick, same here, babe. Same here. I'm not into the Mariah Carey thing either, but thankfully we're far enough behind Jason, so we never hear any of it. We didn't even know he was playing it until until a couple of times when we got on Main Street in Barrie, you could hear it. And you were like, oh my God, he's playing Mariah Carey, because you get all freaked out about her.
I do, because she is the queen of Christmas.
Well, anyway,
She is.
we hope that people will, gather on Main Street for the event. It's on December 16th. Watch, wave, whatever. Scream and yell at us if you want. You can bring a gift down if you want, and we'll stop and grab it from you and bring it right on down to add to Christmas for kids.
What is it called again?
Christmas for Kids. That's what it's called. Yeah, it's actually my on my personal Facebook page. It is my not my profile picture, but the other one. Yeah, Christmas for Kids. That's what it is. Damn it, and I'm super excited about that. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Do you still have the lights from last year?
I
It was
do.
the year before that you had to cut them off because remember I
Yes.
wound them around your wheel, the
Yeah,
tire, his spare tire,
I cut those off.
and he had to drive all the way to Virginia with them
Yes.
on, and they were making all this racket on his Jeep. The poor thing.
Yeah, I just cut them off. It was just easier to cut them off.
Yeah,
Just
because
much
it was
easier.
bad. But
Yeah.
last year you got new lights and you got the battery pack
Yep.
and
Yep.
souped it up a little more. And I can't remember what we put on the front, but yeah, we'll come up with something.
Yeah. Although I will say that those lights, those little lights, were probably better for the Jeep,
Yeah, yeah,
more than likely.
yeah.
But that's okay. We'll have the other lights.
We love it. It's going to be fun.
It will be.
Glenn, I hope you'll come down and park on Main Street and beep to us as we go by.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because unfortunately, we don't drive up to Camp Street.
No.
But we start at 7, though, so we may not make it to Barry until like 7:45. But I have faith in you. Yeah. Anything else? I mean, there's all
No,
kinds of
I
stuff
mean,
happening.
yeah.
It's on the page. There's been some different things come out in the news as far as, the same old, same old. We hear the so-and-so did this. They went to court. They were released. They, the same shit, different week. All of that. There's several of those cases in there that make us angry and hopefully some things are going to change around here with the change in Montpelier, with the change in the United States. I mean, it's pretty big, and I feel like I feel a lot of comfort right now as far as some political things go. Some of them still scare the shit out of me, but some things it's comforting, at least in the state of Vermont, to think that we may get somewhere for the first time in a really long time, and we may have a chance at fixing some things for the first time in a long time, and we have more elections coming up, and come out in droves just like you did for this election.
Yep.
And vote the same damn way.
Absolutely.
Just saying.
Absolutely.
May, and the elections are in May.
Yep.
In the city, they no March elections, which is good because serving hot dogs in March
Little
sucks.
chilly. Well, there
Serving
are
hot
March
dogs.
elections for school board.
Right, but I'm not serving hot dogs until May,
Yeah.
till the May election. Yeah.
All right. Well, want to say thank you to everybody for watching the 802 Scoop. You can find us on facebook.com/802 Scoop. I highly recommend that if you don't like the page, to go to facebook.com/802 Scoop and click like so that you're watching all the updates that Raylene diligently posts out there.
I do. I try really hard to keep
You do.
everybody as
You keep it-
informed
you
as
keep-
I possibly can. Once in a while, I have to duck out for a little bit for an appointment or something, and something will come up. But I have a couple of amazing people in the community, Linda Kuchar being one of them, who will send me stuff, like almost immediate. Barb Druge, same way. So even if I'm busy, at least I know it happened. So as soon as I'm not busy, it gets put right up on the page. They help me make sure that I don't miss a thing. It takes a village, and I definitely have a village, and I'm super grateful for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good way to get information out there. That's for sure.
It is. It is. Well, yeah. I
And
mean,
that's what the whole purpose was.
that's what the whole purpose was. And we have some things coming up in the city too that I was able to say, yeah, hey, we'll do that. 802 Scoop can do that. No problem. And that is the luxury for us is that, or I think a good thing for us is that the majority of our followers are Berry City, Berry Town. We're followed by Central Vermont, but the majority are right here.
Yeah.
And so when we say we have 5,100, almost 52, because we're up to 5,197 tonight, it is. I mean, we're literally talking to our people,
Yeah.
kind of say. So.
And
It's
it
awesome.
was originally the page was originally Berry City Community Fan Page.
yeah.
For folks that don't know, just
Yep.
give a little genesis of.
Yeah.
When I first started City Council, they didn't have a Facebook page, and I felt that it was important for city councilors to have connection
Mm-hmm.
to our community, and Facebook was the easiest way to do it. And
Yeah.
I created the page, created it to allow councilors to make comments about things that are going on in the community.
Yeah.
And
then when I wanted to do this, you said okay.
Absolutely.
Well, not
Well,
that
not
easily.
at first.
it was not easy to convince
No,
you.
it was
But we've
not.
grown significantly
Yeah.
in just a couple of months.
We've almost doubled the
Yeah.
and the reason why I was okay with it, and well, not that we were going to talk about this now, but
No, you can.
the reason why I was, hey Leah,
You get sidetracked. So
the
easy.
reason why I was okay with it was because of what my mission is for the page,
Right.
and you asked me if you could basically take it
Which
over.
is still sometimes tough for you because
It is
my line and your line is, well, you're squishy and I'm not.
correct.
Like very much not.
Correct.
And so what has happened pretty much is you just don't pay attention, and that's
That is
helpful.
correct.
And and then and it just works.
Because in the way it does work out. And when there's something that comes up, I say something.
Yeah, we talk about it.
yeah,
We have a really
absolutely.
good open communication.
Yeah,
For
even
sure.
usually it's more like you're yelling at me for something, but that's our communication. I get the text messages to prove it. Trust me, folks, it's true. But yeah, I mean, the page was originally for that.
I do
It
get
was-
pretty pissed at you
You do get
sometimes.
pissy with me a lot. And it was originally designed for city councilors, and several had monitored it and used it.
Yeah.
And then it went into this like dormancy kind of thing until Barry Beat came on, and then I was doing that weekly, and then
Yeah.
when I lost
Yeah.
the city council, I changed it because
Yeah.
it wasn't the connection that I had, and it was changed to 802 Scoop, and then you wanted to take over so that you could run a business, and I was like,
Yeah.
I was like,
But you did it.
but then I did it,
Yeah.
and
And we're
it's
good.
working good.
We're good.
And like I said, the mission is to get information out there, because I'm a firm believer, and I've told this to everybody, that I believe that information changes hearts and minds.
Yeah.
And I think that if people knew what was going on, things would be a little bit different. I don't. That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we've seen that.
But so we still have to say, so we know that. And Michael will give you the squishy version, or maybe not any version, because he was like, we shouldn't talk about that. Where I'm the polar opposite. And
Yeah.
I will not give you the squishy version, and I'm really not afraid to talk about anything. I'm just not. So
Yeah.
it works good.
It
works.
does.
It's
It
a
does.
happy medium.
All right. Well, Leah's telling me that it's time to go.
Yeah, she wants a treat. She wants a cookie.
She wants a treat. She wants a
Please.
cookie.
And
wants to
yeah,
go.
so
wants to
tune
go
in
home.
tomorrow, 4:00. Guy Page will be here. I think he's going to be here with Rob Roper. but I'm not positive. Don't quote me on that. I have to make sure. But yeah, tune in
Okay.
Vermont Daily Chronicle tomorrow, 4:00, and then we'll see you next week, Monday night, for the Berry Bee.
All right, guys, have a wonderful evening, and
Stay safe.
Stay safe out there.
And put up your Merry Christmas signs.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.